Now, 3 of them appear capable of supporting life. At a media conference, NASA said the discovery was made through the Spitzer Space Telescope. And we're continuing with this theme of space exploration. Technological innovations have changed not just the way we work, play and live, but even satellite communications as well.
Well, the Global Space and Technology Convention is currently being held in Singapore, and one area of focus is finding new ways of commercially exploiting satellites already in orbit while creating economic value in the process. And so joining us in studio today to share their thoughts on the new planets and space technologies, we have Dr. Abel Young, lecturer at the Department of Physics at National University of Singapore, and Rita Suzuki, General Manager for Space Systems and Advanced Electronics at Mitsubishi Electric. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us today. First up, Dr. Young, why don't I start with you? So they've discovered 7 planets, 3 of which they say might be able to support life. And if that is the case, what are some of the conditions that we are looking out for? And the next question is, how excited should we be about this whole discovery?
Well, this is actually quite a big discovery because there's 3 planets all at once. And when we say planets that could support life, we're talking about planets that have the right temperature to support life as we know it, which in a sense would also include liquid water. So you don't want the planet to be too close to the sun, that would make it too hot, or you don't want it to be too far, and that would make it too cold. So it's in the what we call the habitable zone, which is not too cold, not too hot, but just right.
Okay.
Now, Dr. Young, so these planets in this Goldilocks zone that you just mentioned are 40 light years away. I think the emphasis here is just 40 light years away, but still that is 40,000 human years away, it translates to at least. Even with these advances in technology that we're seeing, space exploration and exploration into these planets, are they going to take place in this lifetime?
Well, most likely not. But barely managed to leave the solar system in the case of robotic probes. And one of the robotics probes, I think one of the Voyager probes, they're moving away at about 17 kilometers per second. And at that speed, it would take about 700,000 years to get to TRAPPIST-1. So definitely not within our lifetime.
Okay, that reminds me of the movie that they have right now, Passengers. Okay, I digress, but Rita, I want to bring you into this conversation here. Speaking of space technologies, why is the demand for communication satellites and Earth observation satellites, why are they increasing, especially in Asia? Which industry or economy is driving this demand?
Well, of course, as for the communication satellites, everyone has handphones, the smartphones right now, and the demands for this kind of phone is increasing, which means that the throughput or the data necessary to support this kind of network is increasing in the region. So as for the communication satellite, I think the economy behind this is mostly commercial. Of course, there are government and the civil government use for the communications. As for the observation satellite, I think there was a need for this observation satellite previous to this boom on the observation satellite. But I think recently the technology has advanced, and there's more availability for the smaller satellites, which is reasonable priced, and so the people are able to, or the governments are able to buy those useful smaller observation satellite. And on the observation satellite arena, I think it's more on the government side rather than the commercial side. It's still the use of the observation satellite is maybe a land usage monitoring or coastline monitoring. So it's more on the government's civil use.
Right. So in tandem with this rise in demand for these satellites, 2 things spring to mind. Firstly, security of 2 kinds. So security of information,
yes,
as well as whether or not the skies, as hard as it is to believe, would be too crowded to accommodate all these satellites.
Yes. As for the security, the satellite business is actually one of the forefront for the encryption technology, which has been leading this industry. So the security as a security-wise, I think that there's not much worries for the satellite to be taken away by other entities. But there are some consciousness in the industry that also the ground networks that has to be protected from the cyber threats that is occurring every day. As overall, I think the satellite business is in good shape for the cybersecurities.
Right. Dr. Yang, back to the question in outer space, you said we might not likely see it in our lifetime, but, are we any closer to finding out if we truly are alone here?
Well, that's a very good question, actually. Well, now that we've found those planets, we know where to look. And it's quite tantalizing to think that planets that could host liquid water could possibly host life. And we don't know yet, but the upcoming James Webb Space Telescope might have the capabilities to look into its atmosphere and find out perhaps some telltale signs of life. Whether it's intelligent life or perhaps just microbial life, we don't know.
I'm not sure we want the answer to that, to be honest.
I do. I want to know. Can you imagine? There's like truly aliens exist.
It's only if they're like ET, right?
They're like cute. Yeah. Rita, okay, another question. We agree that moving to another planet quite impossible for now, right? But we are seeing advancements in space, in space technology. So where actually do we see satellite communications in our everyday lives?
Yes.
And also, as a layman, as me, how do I take advantage of it? How does it benefit me?
Yes. Well, as I said before, the communication satellite is an everyday thing. If you take a smartphone, it's necessary, and those communication is backed up by the communication satellite. If you go on a plane, there's a Wi-Fi system, which is also backed up by a satellite communication system. If you take a cruise, ship also has this communication system that allows you to access the internet with the Wi-Fi system, which is backed up also by this communication satellite. And GPS, for instance, you Google it, if you want to go somewhere, and you Google it, and you're there. I mean, it takes you how to go to the places. And we have developed this quick QZS system, which is able to pinpoint you with a centimeter accuracy. So that is something that we benefit from the space technology.
Right, and that's how it benefits us. I think GPS really benefited me because, if I'm traveling and I don't know how to get from point A to point B, I just have key in my system and it gets me there. It also helps me avoid traffic. So that's something that I really appreciate. But thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in and speaking to us this evening. We've been speaking to Ryota Suzuki, the General Manager for Space Systems and Advanced Electronics at Mitsubishi Electric, and Dr. Abel Yang, the lecturer at the Department of Physics at National University of Singapore.
Now, staying on the subject of space, and a second made in Singapore Earth observation satellite could be ready in 4 or 5 years.